Hi, this is C again. So I'm in a mood right now. I just got off the phone with Via talking to Sherry, and she said she'd vote for me if I would run. Well, I kind of knew that, but I just don't want to get that involved in politics. However, I thought maybe I'd do this video to maybe submit my ideas just so that anybody who wants to get into politics might see the benefits of what I have to say. So, one of the issues I was talking about was, with this recent ban on abortion, nobody's thinking about, what are they going to do with all those kids when they start growing up, right? Where are they going to house them? Where are they going to, put them? And I told her, I said, I think they're going to try to fill the jails with them because they're not going to have any other place to go. Of course, it's going to be for their own safety. The only problem is they're probably going to have to put them in solitude because they're not going to want to expose them to the criminal element. So it's kind of like, okay, let's give birth to a bunch of kids we have to torture. And my solution to the problem was to, at least for those that are maybe 13, 14, 15 underage to be working, is quit putting those roadblocks in the way of having to ID them to death in order to get a job. I mean, things ran just fine without all that damn ID before. And somebody else, they were talking about security reasons and, the illegals and all that. Well, the answer to all that is very simple in this day and age of technology where they can track all kinds of stuff. It's a no-brainer. They can't get them, if they can't get the money, wire it to another country, and you make it illegal, for them to wire what would be sustenance for even one person to another country on a regular basis, maybe an emergency one time once every 5 years or something. They can wire some kind of significant amount of money. Say if you had somebody traveling and they got stuck without their documents, you could help your relative or somebody get out of a jam. They have ways of regulating that kind of thing nowadays, and that would deter all of this, because they wouldn't be able to send enough money to make it worth their while. And if they don't make it worth their while, they're not going to be coming over here trying to take jobs illegally. It's that simple. And monitoring the amount of money that's being wired is ridiculously simple. Just ridiculously simple. Instead of punishing the citizens and those minors that could and want to work, instead of becoming human trafficked because they've been thrown out of the house by their drunken dad or something, or beaten out of the house or something, instead of trying to house them and put more burden on the taxpayers and whatnot for those kids that really could help themselves. I mean, there is a status called an emancipated minor legally. But in order to become emancipated minor, you have to be paying your bills and working a job. Well, nobody's going to give you a job if you're underage these days because they're requiring ID. Now, I remember my drunken dad threw me out of the house and I went and got a job. I just put on makeup, I presented well, and I interviewed, got the job. Show up tomorrow, no problem. No problem. No ID. I didn't have to. When a kid's thrown out on the street anyway, their parents aren't going, wait, don't go. Here, let me give you your social security card and your birth certificate. That's not happening. They're thrown out on the street, point blank, or they run point blank, and then the criminal element comes in contact with them. So you've got human trafficking going on of young people that could be working a job. And they're griping and bemoaning, oh, these millennials, this and that. Well, until you clear the pathway so that it's easier to get a job than it is to get on disability, until you clear that pathway, shut up. So I'm all for clearing the pathway. There's no need for all this IDing people to death in order to work. There's no need for it. You can have security. There are other ways to make things secure. Other ways. And believe me, the word will get around after a while. Once they've been here and they realize that their family is starving in the Philippines or Mexico because they're unable to wire the money, they will figure out that they need to quit the job and go home, and they will tell their friends about it. Don't worry about advertising it. I mean, seriously. But instead, they're putting everybody through all of this rigmarole, and making you wait. If your purse is, so you're looking for a job, your purse is stolen, your wallet's stolen, good luck. Now, hopefully, most people have family and friend connections that people will let you sleep on the couch or do kind of, whatever, or lend you $20 here and there. But, I mean, it's unnecessary. I mean, honestly, it's that simple. Just, and the IRS is on the one token. They're worried about, all these millennials want to get on benefits. Make it easier. Yeah, but then we can't keep track of the money and the revenue and how much they owe us. Well, you're pound foolish. You're penny wise and pound foolish. The truth of the matter is most people, the majority, are honest and will go ahead and sign up and give you their real Social Security number because they want those credits just in case something happens. And they need disability, or they don't mind paying whatever it is. But y'all have gotten so tight in budgeting and whatnot, you're like worrying about every little penny you can get. Got to make sure that we see that Social Security card so they're not lying on their application, and then we can't collect. Oh, come on. You're collecting anyway on somebody's. You're generating revenue on some. So if they forget and they get a digit off the Social Security number, they end up paying into the system anyway. You're still getting revenue. Quit IDing people to death.